So let me think if there's any big changes we want to make here. Let's go ahead and not get lazy. I meant to get this talisman before the stream, but it's technically the fourth talisman of dominance is better than the third talisman of creativity. Something I noticed yesterday. I think the island choices are looking pretty good. I'm showered in beautiful golden radiance by them. But nice, they'll pay out the prediction. No, I don't think I would have main deck Dismember. I also don't like usually love to trophy and then make like a lot of big sweeping changes to. But yeah, it's kind of shocking how good the turns package overlaps here. Let's run it back here. Dynamic of the format. And in addition to, like, pretty often Amulet Titan players will either, usually unintentionally, but sometimes intentionally, misrepresent what's happening to gain an advantage. So it's so complicated that they mess it up in their own favor sometimes, but this happens on camera all the time with Titan players, that they do something they weren't allowed to do and people don't notice because it's so convoluted. You don't get any explicit information about what they have if they don't scoop. Just that they have some interaction. So it means if you can infer a specific form of interaction with them not scooping, you could have inferred that interaction anyways. Potentially. But I almost feel like you're just kind of like devil's advocating me. Maybe I'm misunderstanding too. But do you disagree that sometimes you'll be able to gain information that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise? Because that's my main point here. It's the crux of my argument. I feel like I'm making that pretty clear also. Entropy injured with the 38 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Isn't it always true that if your opponent looks dead on board but hasn't conceded, you gain information? No, it's not always true, because what do? You play the game of Magic the Gathering. You just cast your cards, and then your opponent is allowed to respond in a way that they have a plan for. But with these convoluted loops, you are allowed to just describe what you're going to do instead of being forced to actually do it, and this gives you an advantage. It's not a huge advantage, but it is an advantage, and it's a problematic one. This is my point. I don't feel like this is a very hot take. We could move on. And I sincerely, I think I've articulated this pretty well. And I honestly think if you're disagreeing with me, I think you're just kind of playing devil's advocate. I honestly don't understand how I can explain the city differently, or I feel like I've explained it pretty clearly. We can agree to disagree too if you want. I'm ready. I am ready to move on. I'm not devil's advocating. I do genuinely agree, and that is fine. And I don't agree that opponent not scooping lets you gain any information other than might have interaction. But you're playing around interaction anyway, so this only speeds up resolution of the game. Yeah, that's okay that you just disagree. I would sincerely make the point that this is just an advantage that you I don't take advantage of, but it doesn't come up all the time. It maybe doesn't even come up often, but it does come up. Okay, let's play this game. But it's okay. We can just disagree on this point. That was always allowed. Okay, well, we're about to just ultimate this Tamiyo. How scared of Bowmaster do we want to be? I have the K command. Holy shit. I've never seen that happen. Oh, sorry. Time warp. Do I sack a clue token here for a land? I think no. I think I'm probably going to K command next turn. I do have one Otawara in my deck. I can also just go Tamiyo plus Nulldrifter. Okay. Oh, I also have Devourer of Destiny, right? But yes, we can go. We should be fine now. Because it looks like I can go Ultimate Temporal Mastery and then cast Nulldrifter and attack at least twice with it. I can also flip my Tamiyo. I could also take extra turns with the Tamiyo too, so yeah, we should be in good shape here. Okay, it's fine. I guess with this subtlety happening, we're going to go imprint the Nulldrifter to Labyrinth and sack a clue. Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't exactly expecting it to go that well, but it did. I think this is how I sideboarded last time. Let's run that back. Yeah, we definitely hit really well off the K command to find 2 time warps and a Temporal Mastery. I think on the draw against Dimir, let's go ahead and keep this hand. We talking about the new Coco. I mean, I think it looks interesting. It's going to be kind of difficult to build around. It's not like, you know, it could pair with Kyla's Reconstruction, but it's a very hard card to think about. Even I'm a bit unsure if it'll find a home, but I'll definitely try. Could be a good Enchantress card. Could be a like Dice Factory style combo card. Could be an Enchantress card. You could put Planeswalkers into play. Sorcery Speed Coco Barf. So people have been saying this, like, obviously Sorcery Speed is worse. I've cast a lot of Collected Companies at Sorcery Speed. I don't really think I'm worried. Does it not just slot in Thopter Sword? It could. Thopter Sword is a deck I don't like very much personally, but you could, absolutely. Put that in the yard for you. Yeah, I'm not sure what the card name is. Just came out today. Probably gonna have to go to there. Oh no. Okay, people are they're just playing this card now. This is like the 3rd time we've seen this. It's kind of cool. So did this do well at like the South American RC this weekend or something? I think I'm just gonna bounce it maybe. Card's just good. I mean, I've seen it in Standard. I haven't seen it like I'm having a hard time evaluating it maybe, but this seems fine. Spotlight Series of the Netherlands, cool. Yeah, I figured it must have done well in one of the recent events for it to be picking up in popularity like this. Land would be nice. I know we just used our Otawara. Well, might be go to game 3. Yeah, I think I'm having a hard time evaluating because I'm playing this deck. I agree with that. Helps the black-white matchup, I see. I mean, I would imagine that like having some Kaitos in your deck doesn't like drastically change the matchup, but I agree it's fine there. Hear me out, Arcades Tamiyo. I don't know. Are they going to replay Tamiyo? They do replay Tamiyo. I just draw a Talisman. I think I'm going to crack a clue, and if I don't draw a land, we'll pack it in. Alright, game 3. I'd play the Talisman, then crack. Well, we just have like so much high upside here, right? To like flip the Tamiyo. I think when we're so behind like this, we need to hit the high upside line. Could be wrong. Okay, let's keep this one. Again, not a matchup I like to mulligan very aggressively in. His hand's got some mana. Gonna wait on the island cycle. If I want an island cycle, I can do it probably next turn after playing a Talisman. Oh, sorry, I should play Island because it's Temporal Mastery here. So if this gets countered. Alright, let's see if we get punished by that. They're like using the consigns and the relics pretty aggressively too, which is kind of interesting. I think it's going to F at the 57. They main phase Consider, which would... Oh, I do get punished. Wow. That kind of stinks. I have not brewed it all with Kaito and Modern, no. Gonna wait on the Lrien Revealed cycle. If I draw a land, I'll probably have not wanted to cycle it. They put a card on top, then they play the island. They have a Murktide. Pretty good draw for our opponent here. A little late to the party, Mystical Dispute. Good news is we have 7 mana for Devourer available potentially. Jace would be a good top deck. Jace would be a great top deck. So one shy of just trying to cycle Temporal Mastery. The problem is that we probably just get countered and lose if we go for that anyways. Do you ever wish you had one Surveil land to find off Lrien? I can't say I have wished for that. Seems like we maybe would have won this game if I had sequenced my lands better. I realized just a second too late. Best draw is Devourer, of course, followed by Jace. Nulldrifter could be okay. So they have a counter spell, so now it's going to have to be Devourer. All right, tempoed. Okay, let's keep this one. Put into the mold of 6. You can play Island turn 1 to not give away the game too much here. Kind of hope this is Boros. We haven't played this matchup yet, if it is. I think I'm going to go ahead and evoke the Nulldrifter. It's a little bit weird since it's like my imprintable for the Labyrinth, but seems like a solid use of mana. Oh, this is Storm? Okay. So I think we hold up K command / Brainsurge so that we can either kill Ral or put a Temporal Mastery on top. Plays a tapped Valakut Awakening. Then they ritual. You'd think they would ritual first before playing land every time. So all of these are just going to the graveyard in exchange for spawn tokens. Now we really need to find a land off this Brainsurge. Okay, we do find a land. Now I have the option to play a Talisman or evoke a Nulldrifter. I think I'm playing Talisman. I'm not super confident in that choice. I think we just cycle a Time Warp. Okay, that worked out. So I could go Jace with K command up. I could just hold up the whole K command. I could hold up 2 K commands also, which I think I kind of like that, because this would let me exile a bunch of more cards to the graveyard for a Past in Flames, which just kind of seems like what they're on here. And I can maybe exile cards for Past in Flames and exile a Ral here. So they start off with a Glimpse. They hit a Past in Flames and a Rin's Resolve and a Wooded Foothills. They play that Wooded Foothills. Then they cast a Rin's Resolve. They hit a Pyretic Ritual. Cast the Ritual. Metamorphose. Feeling pretty good. They gotta know I probably have K command though, so hard to... Okay, they just drew that. Hard to know if it's good. Okay, so we get to exile 6 cards and make 6 spawns. Exile Ritual, Ritual, Metamorphose, Ritual, Ritual. Wish, probably. I think I'm just going to exile the rest with the other K command. Oh, there was only 1 Rin's Resolve. Oh, there's 2. There's 2. Okay, so we exile Rin's Resolve, Strike It Rich. I guess they get to have a Glimpse. Rin's, Strike It Rich. Maybe I just could get rid of both Glimpses, leave them with a treasure token. Do you think I'm going for mana instead of Scrydraw here? Scrydraw wouldn't be bad, of course. Yeah, I'm going to exile both Glimpse, I think. Because I don't want them to... Because if they cast the Glimpse off the Past in Flames, then they're going to be able to have like more cards in the yard for Past in Flames next turn. Crispy with the 34 months. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so up a game against Storm. Definitely not a very good matchup, but the good news is we can theoretically combo off relatively quickly, and Storm sucks, so there's that. Let's bring in these Grafdigger's cages, and probably not a lot else. Board out the Emrakul. How does this card get printed? Yeah, I don't know. This K command card is very egregious. Let's play like maybe 1 Consign. Awesome, Draven. Have fun. It's a leg day for me today. Most days are leg days for me right now because I'm on a cut. I'm either doing indoor cardio, outdoor cardio, legs, and then I do my normal non-leg day once. I'm on a 4-day cycle, no rest days. All right, let me go ahead and hold up the Consign for a Ruby. Back day legs are tomorrow. Cool, cool. It's a Ral instead. Classic. Kicking around any Brood-Scale variant ideas. Well, we played the Bright Glass Gearhook Brood-Scale deck the other day. I think the Eldrazi version of that deck is better, but that deck was like somewhat reasonable, I think. Yeah, I guess I don't have a lot of big ideas now. So you have Pending instead of Static Prison, which I can't consign. Spike, you have never skipped leg day energy. I mean, I don't skip leg day, but I guess I don't know what that energy means. Been hiking a lot lately. Doing the Stairmaster too. As well as like leg weightlifting. Okay, they don't have anything, so we're hoping to draw a land to just K command this Ral, I guess. Interesting. I guess we'll replay the cage and pass. What about some Vesuvian Drifter shenanigans in the deck? So the problem is like this deck is pretty good, and so I don't want to put Vesuvian Drifter into it. Unfortunately, this deck is a little too good for Vesuvian Drifter. Shows the gods. I really don't do arms that much. I have like one arm day, but just a lot more focused on like legs and core. So I'm going to do this in response to the Labyrinth trigger so I could maybe imprint something. We bottom both of those. What do I do for core? I do lower back extensions. I do the cord, like the twisty cords. I do the crunch machine. I do suspended leg raises. I do lat pull downs. I get in the, I don't know what to call this one, but I get in like this mech suit and I like pull backwards. I don't know what that one's called. I do bench press, if you count that as chest instead of core, but it's all in the general area, of course. Let's cast another K command. I think that's it. Oh, Rose. So yeah, I did the rowing machine, but I kind of pivoted from instead of the rowing machine, it's like a rowing mech suit. But yeah, I guess that's what it is. Greenwire, the 25 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Chest supported Rose. Yeah, I don't. If you're talking about these, I don't do these. I know all like the really buff guys I see at the gym do it, but I haven't started those. As a personal trainer, I love mech suit more. Yeah, that's how it feels. All right, Storm keeps storming and Fringe Press. I guess we're going to 5. Tricep extensions. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to keep this hand. I'm going to put back, I think, just these double blue cards that I can't cast. Makes sense. Let's keep that one. Double K command by turn 3. The best way to unmull to 5. Yes, my golden shower of islands. And their beautiful golden radiance. I feel so refreshed when I play one. We get to see doing any standard decks this week? Probably not this week. I know that a lot of people are really doomed out on Modern. I'm having a lot of fun. I have like a sick backup deck that we're probably not going to get to today. I'm probably going to play this in the challenge on Friday. I think this deck is sick. We just trophied with it. Like we trophied with Temporal Mastery today. Like I'm having a good time over here. How is Monabu taking turns? That is still this deck. This deck is a combination of taking turns in the Eldrazi package, and they actually jive together surprisingly well. Trophied with it. I've been liking it a lot. I shoved Archon and Persist into Mardu Ketchamos with Smash My Friends. Cool, cool. Yeah, I've been wanting to try that over the Gorios. Oh, into Mardu Ketchamos. Interesting. Okay, my opponent is has conceded without doing anything. Well, do we think that they're just going to concede anyway? Should I bring in these consigns? What would they concede to? I'll just run it back. I think they're probably just going to scoop the match. Whenever played Temporal Trespass. Triple blue is kind of a non-starter in this deck. We're not very good at filling up our yard anyways. In general, I could consider playing a Temporal Trespass. Yeah, Archon Persist and Mardu Ketchamo seems kind of cool. Like in general, like in the domain in the domain Gorios Ketchamos deck we played last week, like the idea of like if my opponent brings in a lot of graveyard hate against me, I just have Ketchamos was pretty cool. We wanted to play Persist, like Looting or Persist Archon instead of Gorios, Atraxa, and that shell, so you can play Stub over Consign. But yeah, maybe just in Mardu makes sense too. We had Mardu with Detectives Phoenix, which was also kind of nice. I don't know if you could play Phoenix also. Could put a Phoenix on your Archon. Okay, we'll see if our opponent just concedes. They keep, they don't just concede. Okay, let's mulligan this. This is a very odd start here. Bottom one of these, I think. Well, they're not just Dimir and they just concede to a Mold of 5 Eldrazi game 1, are they? Phoenix are going pretty good. Did you have it in your build? Flickering it with the dog when you get the finale kind of cool. If you want to send a link, I'd love to take a look. No thanks to any of these. Should have kept the second Devourer, I guess. Maybe they accidentally kept a no-lander. Yeah, maybe. Right now we're 1-1 against Dimir. I don't know how good the quality of playtesting in this matchup is going to be, but interested to play it further. It does really feel like the turn effects swing things in our favor, plus the disputes, which I didn't get to bring in, I guess. Well, I suppose I'm not attacking into the frog. Are the mismatched lands to keep track with turns? Yes. Of course. And I get to make P jokes too. It was 99 cents! I feel like the setup could have been better for that, but... In an hour, I'll have a better version of that joke. With United Battlefront. I mean, it's a little bit early to have a strong opinion on it, but it seems at least worth brewing around. Is Burn good now? Burn's okay. Well, 2 pretty lopsided games, maybe. I think with 5 lands in our hand here, we could just concede. Seems fine. And then this has been our plan. All right, beautiful hand. Turn 2, flip Tamiyo. Brainsurge, no fetch. We have Lrien Reveals and K commands, but yeah, we maybe should have 1 or 2 fetches. Ah, where'd Tamiyo go? All right, 2 at the bottom. We also trophied with 4 Jace the Mind Sculptor in our deck today. I don't know if I have DMs open frothy, but you can post it in here if you want, or if not, it's no big deal. Tomorrow if you want to. So I have the basic swamp. We have Dismember for Harbinger. This is the best feature of Magic Online, the ability to drag the after image across the screen. Yeah, Jason's feeling pretty back. A lot of people have been saying Teferi, Hero of Dominaria has been feeling good again. Although I feel like the overlap in like the stock up fans and the Teferi Hero fans is pretty big. There are some people who are just like, stock up has revolutionized the way I play Matches of Modern. It's unbelievable how good stock up is, and I'm still a little dubious at this point, but. Do you ever cast Teferi Hero off-screen testing? I haven't cast Teferi in a long time, but I'm wanting to play one soon, I think. I did build a stock up Tron deck that is like it's tentatively like backup deck to the backup deck. Might want to work on it a little bit more before it makes the stream. Stuck up so good in Amulet Titan. Well, I think it's kind of hard to play any card in Amulet Titan, and that's not somewhat reasonable. Like, this deck's pretty good. Oh, we're getting Kaito'd? Sorry, Kaito. Nothing personal, kid. Oh, Hexproof. Ooh. Right. So they only get to surveil, right? They don't get to draw a card. Candy's been playing Stock Up in Titan. Yeah, I believe that Canister can play Stock Up in Titan and do really well. I don't really exactly believe that it's like should be stock in that deck, but could be. I do think Stock Up's fine. I think it's somewhat playable in some combo decks. I do believe this, but I just think it's a little funny how like all in some people see on Stock Up. Like it's not that good. it's kind of fine, you know. All right, so let's buy this back, and I think I just go Tamiyo, Jace, hold up a Spawn to block the Kaito, transform Tamiyo, put Temporal Mastery on top. That seems like a pretty good turn to me. Your turn. This would be real good at Team Escape Shift. Yeah, I think it could be good at Team Escape Shift. Again, I think the card is somewhat playable, but there are people who are treating it like Dig Through Time got printed into Modern. and you know, it's... I'm mostly just poking fun at that dynamic, I guess. Yeah, Tamiyo minus on K command is really gross. Stock Up has the problem where it's great in Legacy and Vintage, but forget it. Yeah, there's not as much broken mana in this format. Although there's more. Okay, so they can kill my Jace, but not my Tamiyo. How good will Temporal Mastery be if Mystical Sanctuary gets a banned? Well, there's no synergy there. I guess there's some synergy, but it exiles itself. Oh, funny enough, the fact that I've Dismembered this turn lets the Kaito draw a card. Wait, is this a 3? Oh, this is sorry, this is base 3 power. So they can +1 to kill my Jace, but they'd have to +1. They have another Bowmaster. Could be break the ice. Is break the ice. And they miss the fact that they can plus the Kaito, so my Jace gets to live. Should Dismember later. Well, I can't Dismember later, right? Well, I guess I could have floated the mana and then let them pass priority, but then I don't know. Probably ends up the same. Maybe Dismembering now is better because it baits them into zeroing the Kaito. Stock Up is good, no question. I agree that it's good, but I think there are some people who are just very Stock Up pilled. And it's just for me it's just like an option, you know. It's not something you have to put in these decks. Kaito's fun. I agree. Kaito's a pretty cool card for Modern. People seem really in on it today. We'll see if they have a Force of Negation for my Temporal Mastery. Nope. So let's brainstorm. Some good pickups here. So I want to go Talisman into... Yeah, I guess I can put back the Otawara. I want to go Talisman, Lrien Revealed, Shuffle. Stock Up pilled, better than mid-level at Rumble pilled. I don't think the full rule text islands are on Magic Online. Is that Jace of 2025? We trophied with 4 Jace, 4 Temporal Mastery today. Some lag today, though. So if we can find another turns effect, our opponent's pretty cooked. They're pretty cooked just to Devour on Kaito, too. Can I go play another Talisman first? Looks like I can. There's so much like small overlapping synergy in this deck too. Like K Command digging for miracles, Nulldrifter flipping Tamiyo, Jace flipping Tamiyo. Tamiyo plus turns is crazy too. That's the main idea of the deck, of course. Okay, beautiful hand. You can start Fred shearing. Not sure what I'm looking for after Devourer. Botanical Sanctum. I used it for the longest time. Oh, it's shearing. I'm pretty sure shearing is just living in gamer forever. So if that's the case, having a Nulldrifter to go to the yard does seem pretty nice. Pika with 3 months. Can't believe I watched you Spike for 3 months now. Incredible stream. Glad you're still liking it. Oh, it's not Living End. It's Cathis combo. Surprised that Time Warp is still one of the best turn cards to play. I would have thought they would have made a better, cheaper one. Yeah, they usually don't like to take many risks with turn cards. They have made some mistakes with Nexus, but Nexus is a lot more balanced in Modern always. Why is Creativity fallen? I mean, to be honest, it never was that good. Like, Creativity was like a deck that people expected to be good with the ring banning. It was fine. It's still kind of fine. And it's just a deck that like I think there's more like expectation for its viability than like actual competitive viability, if that makes sense. It was more of like oh yeah, ring is gone, this card must be somewhat fine, in my opinion. Keeping this Talisman seems pretty important. I already have a Nulldrifter. I already have a Jace. I think I could just bottom those. Nexus wasn't even that bad of a mistake on power level. Gameplay was atrocious. I would disagree to some extent. Like I do think standard gameplay was quite bad with it, but don't want to nitpick too much. It was 99 cents. I think I'm going to go Talisman, Time Warp. I think I'm going to casting the Nulldrifter here, since if I go for Jace, put Temporal Mastery on top, the Teferi stops me from Miraculing. Maybe we get combo killed, but maybe that'll be kind of fun. Cash grab, huh? So there's a Kethis. That is what's grabbed here. I do think Kethis combo seems pretty worth working on. There's like a pretty solid chance that Kethis combo is like the Mox Opal deck after Breach gets banned. Yeah, we have cast Emrakul today a couple times. Trophied our first league, then we went 2-3, now we're 2-1. I also always think Kethis is Sultai instead of Abzan mana. Cast Kethis, then taps green with colorless for a grinding station. Alright, so this should just be a kill. Let's go and see how this build is. Eye's doing a lot better. I guess our opponent could theoretically brick. Seems very unlikely, especially with a lot of these lands being legendary. If you activate Kethis, then mill, does each effect apply to new legendaries hit the yard? So they have to be in the yard for the effect to apply to them. But you can like replay all your Moxen and like sack them or legend rule them, then activate Kethis once and replay them all again. Kind of funny to see Kethis come when Breach exists. That'll be very good. Yeah, they're testing it to be ready post Breach getting banned in 2 weeks. I think this is a great time to be playing Kethis. You know, this is not a tournament, just a league. I mean, we're dead here, but we're just trying to see what the build is like for our sideboarding in games 2 and 3. Yeah, you don't need to play Station. That's true. Starts to mill me. Oh, wait, I have an Emrakul in my deck. If their Winkin is Jace, I might just be fine here. Yeah, they Jace me. Oh, but then they Agatha Soul Cauldron the Jace! Or the Emrakul. Wow. So maybe if the Emrakul had been hit later... I mean, will they... So they have to Jace me 3 more times. Can they Jace me 3 more times? It seems like they can. Seems like they can. What are the odds Station needs to ban instead of Breach? I mean, non-zero, I guess, but it would be ridiculous to do that. It would be like unbelievably poor decision making, in my opinion. Like, there are still deterministic loops with Breach. Like, Breach combo is like not that much worse. You just play Dragon Rage's Channeler and you play Enhanced Surveillance, and you just the cost is you play Dragon Rage's Channeler in your deck. That's literally it. Like it's marginally worse. Yeah, but Wizards does make some silly decisions sometimes. Yeah, Artist Talent Loam works too. My prediction, they don't ban Breach or Grinding Station or Opal. They unban Crow Mox. Hmm. What do you think the Yawgmoth's creature for Final Fantasy will do after Breach is banned? I don't... What is the text on that card again? I don't really remember. The idea is that Mill Jace works in the middle of the combo instead of the end. Yeah, and I think that is the idea. How does the deck work with Enhanced Surveillance and DRC? So this is something we were doing a while ago, but... If you have Enhanced Surveillance and a Channeler, when you play your 0-mana artifact, you surveil 3 times instead of 1. So it's the same thing as Grinding Station. You just surveil 3, graveyard them all, exile them to Breach, surveil 3 again, over and over again. And it's not like having Channeler in your... Like, Channeler is also great in the Breach deck in general, so the cost is not so high, and you're able to like mill over both of them pretty easy and still have Breach be like a 1-card combo. All right, let's go to game 2 here. Okay, Grafdigger's Cage seems pretty good. Dismember seems fine. I don't think I want Consign or Dispute. Keep that Emrakul in there. Although Consigning Cauldron is maybe the ball game, but they're like a Delighted Halfling deck, so... I'm a little bit dubious. All right, let's try this again. In regards to United Battlefronts, how many hit sheets do you have in your deck? So with Collected Company, it's been so long. I feel like you would want like 26 hits usually. But you can play slightly less because this looks at 7 instead of 8. Or sorry, 7 instead of 6. Oh yeah, they can just recast Cauldron too. Have we Miracle turn 2? Not yet. You have to be on the play, and you have to have Lab, Talisman. It's a bit easier with Devour to set up for it, but I don't think this build uses Halfling. I guess we didn't see the Halfling, that's true. I remember when we were working on this deck a little bit, and like I have spent some time working on Kethis, and I showed off the builds, but I've now since deleted them because y'all cyberbullied me into deleting all my decks. But when I was playing the Great Hall, I wasn't playing Halfling, and I was playing a fetch land mana base. I was playing Halfling. Was the short of the mana base thing. I think we keep this. Ashiok bad. I don't think it does that much against them. So if we were on the play and we could play turn 1 or the draw, and I could go Labyrinth. I can't go Labyrinth Talisman. Sorry. Yeah, I guess I just take K command. Interesting draws. How good would one blue 1 sorcery draw 2 be? It would be pretty dang good, especially with Tamiyo in the format. So I think I'm gonna do here is go exile the Imri. That I want to make spawns and cast 2 talismans and probably Lrien Revealed too. Make sure I chose the right modes. How is Jace back? I've been seeing relatively often. Well, they banned the One Ring, and Jace is an option for some archetypes. Is the short answer. Jace has been very good in this deck that can cast it on turn 2 and can put Temporal Mastery on top of your deck. Although, most of the decks you're going to see Jace in aren't quite this good with Jace, if that makes sense. Yeah, Lightning Bolt is at an all-time low. Bowmaster is also relatively low still. Twaffle Matt with the 6 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So if they play Kethis, are we dead to it this turn? It kind of seems to me that we wouldn't be, but this Teague is very good against me, but thankfully we have Devourer in our hand. Hopefully they don't have too many more of those. The rare 1/4 Tamiyo. Get ready to rumble. They mill over a Kethis again, a Bauble, a Confluence, and another copy of Mox Opal. They may just want to leave the Kethis in the graveyard so they can Agatha's Soul Cauldron it, and indeed they choose to grab Mox Opal. How come Lightning Bolt is all-time low and Lava Spike is seemingly getting better? Well, just because Burn is somewhat playable doesn't mean other decks are playing Lightning Bolt would be the answer, of course. Okay, so they have another Kethis. Then they attack with the Tamiyo. Yeah, pretty good turn for Temporal Mastery. He said every turn. Good pickup. I think I will Time Warp here. The upside seems pretty high. There it is. My southern accent showing. Yeah, I've always wondered how noticeable is my southern accent, because some people always, some people say it's very apparent and it's shocking, and some people feel like I just have an urban American accent, but I don't know. Hard to tell, of course. My mom and my grandma, whenever they're heated, they have a Tennessee accent that comes out really hard, which is always fun. I think I just want to find a Time Warp. I think I'm just going to 2 mana, draw 2. The Tamiyo. 5, 6, 7. Should be feeling okay with the Grafdigger's Cage situation, I guess. Probably leave the Devourer back to block. Because my opponent can go counter on Tamiyo, and then attack with both. The players are getting priced out of playing Opal and Paper at all. I mean, I'm sure that's happening to some extent. The reality, of course, though, is like paper Magic is very expensive, right? Like to travel to an event, to stay in a hotel, to buy entry, to buy food for the weekend. All of this is like much more expensive than a set of Mox Opals, at least in my experience. So, I think most players who can afford to travel to a paper tournament for a big event can afford to buy or borrow opals. This may not be universally true, of course. And of course, I would say that the Mox Opal effect would have a much bigger impact at like your local game store compared to like the Spotlight Series events or compared to the RC events. Urk with the 44 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Some weird stats. 2-5 Tamiyo, 4-5 Kathis. Cash grabs. A Grist, a Great Hall, a Mox Opal, and a Beseiju. That Beseiju does cost 1 mana here. Are we dead? It might just be dead. I don't see a grinding station yet. Or an Emry. Yeah, I'm probably not dead with no grinding station, no Emry. One kind of bad thing is if I exile the Kethis, they still have Cauldron Kethis. Most modern gamers know are triple, quadruple booking hotel rooms and sharing rides when they travel. Yeah, I guess because I'm in Texas, like if I'm going to an event, I have to fly basically. Like there's a lot of events local to me, but there's almost never an event within driving range. Sometimes OKC, like once or twice Austin or Houston. But for the most part, it's just it's just like 1,000 miles away, and I have to fly. That's like 70,000 kilometers, by the way. Oh yeah, I'm not sure how my opponent's going off here. Obviously, they have one more card in their hand, and they can make a lot of mana and like cast a Grist. I guess they're maybe going to try to crack. Oh, they already cracked their clues. So they activate the Kethis. Yeah, it looks like they're going to cast the Grist since they floated black. Should Modern Kethis play Grist? Well, we're playing against a Modern Kethis that is playing it, but I will say that there's not really a stock Modern Kethis list, probably. I don't know if Grist makes that much sense to me, but interesting if they plus or minus. I feel like I want to plus and try to like flip an Emry to kill me. $70,000 kilometers. It's a meme on this channel. I just make up a silly, crazy number when I convert metric to American. Okay, it kills by Nulldrifter, which is an interesting choice. Probably best possible draw. I think I'm just gonna dig for a turn effect here first. Okay. I think I do want to keep Otawara. Have I played a land this turn, actually? I think I have not. I have not. So let's go top. I guess you get to see all 4 of these cards with the K command draw and the Jace. Oh, I already have a Tamiyo in my hand. So I guess I have a redundant Tamiyo here. But this Tamiyo can let me cast the Time Warp again next turn. Do the Time Warp again. So I'm pretty sure I'm ignoring the Grist because of the Cauldron. Just going to attack them. Probably confirmed win. I think it's at the very least very close to 100. I don't know if this is 100% a win. I get to take 4 extra turns here. 2 of them from the Tamiyo. With Jace in play, it should be fine. And my opponent says, yeah, that's probably fine. And we go to game 3. Moving from Australia to the East Coast US recently. So yeah, the East Coast is probably the best place for Magic. It used to be the DFW area was one of the best places. It's definitely declined since COVID. West Coast usually pretty bad, which is kind of a little bit weird because Wizards is on the West Coast. Bounce with Jace plus 2 Time Lords was lethal though. Yeah. Warriors should be fine here. Yeah, Tamiyo single-handedly Eternal Witness, Time Warp, and Renin 6. Just you get to take so many turns with it, or you get to just dig for. Okay, this is a weird hand. Or you get to dig for, or turns into the ultimate. This hand's really good if I can Devourer into a Talisman. I think I should mulligan. We got the Emrakul in our hand too. I hate to mulligan a hand like this though. Okay, let's keep this. I think I would like to put back Lrien Revealed. I'm actually going to I'm going to be in Connecticut next month. You're going to be there for 1 weekend for a wedding. Not our wedding, but a friend of ours' wedding. Never been to Connecticut before. Any Connecticut gamers? Any must-sees? I did. I thought that was you opening the back door. Okay. Let's keep it simple here. Where in Connecticut? I don't know. Forgive my textingness. I kind of feel like anywhere in Connecticut is this like it's such a small state. Can I not go anywhere I want in Connecticut if I visit? I feel like Connecticut is probably the size of the DFW Metroplex. But let me see how bad my geography is. Okay, Connecticut area. Okay, Connecticut area is 5,543 square miles. DFW Metroplex area. Oh, the DFW Metroplex is actually about twice as big. The DFW Metroplex covers 9,286 square miles. The Connecticut area is 5,543. So, I feel like I could go anywhere. Roadways are probably better in DFW. Yeah, the highway system here is like crazy. I remember Mingu was like, oh, my opponent does have Kethis in their hand. I guess I need to hold up the K command to exile Opal maybe, or Imri. I remember Mingu was like freaked out by the highways when he visited. The Denver area is a pretty great Magic scene. Yeah, I've heard that too. I know like the Luis and Matt and them live over there. Denver is also like just a great area in general. Jorah with the tier 2. Let's go. Happy anniversary. Appreciate you. Plays a Jace. Interesting. Mills themselves for 3. Plays a Mox Amber. Houston greater than Dallas. As far as Houston goes, you have access to beaches better, and you have NASA. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty jealous of NASA. I don't know what else you guys have though. Oh well, we don't have Luka anymore, so maybe actually the Rockets are now better than the Mavs. I don't know, maybe. It's gonna be hard for me to say Houston's better than Dallas, but it might be hard for me to argue. Houston beaches are so bad. Yeah, that's true. I have a lake like 10 minutes from my house I could go to. It's not a beach necessarily, but it's not so bad either. Houston's a hotter too. Like it's hot here too, but it's even hotter there. I own a lake. I own 3 lakes.
Did you spill?
What's up? I don't know what that is. I'll take a look at it to stream it. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
Could be a basic island. Houston food better than DFW slop. I don't listen. There's over 10 million people in the DFW Metroplex. There's good food and there's bad food over here. Stu with the Twitch Prime, thank you, welcome back. And I'm sure there's got to be good food in Houston somewhere. Wait, Shane was summoned. I haven't seen Shane in a while. Good to see you, buddy. I guess I'm bottoming all of these. I know it has been too long. Yeah, there's a lot of good Korean food in our area. Looks like we're 1 mana short of time warping and flipping Tamiyo. Ugin's Labyrinth, the perfect clue cracker. So I guess I go Talisman, Tamiyo, Cage, Hold Up, Dismember. Are you trying to show me something?
No.
Okay, I could have swore I saw something on my peripheral.
Yeah, I went this way to
grab. Okay, so Dead Cage. We have Dismember up for the Kethis, though. Although I suppose they might be able, if they play Cauldron first, this could. Oh, I can just can I respond to Kethis' activated ability? Seems like I can. And they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so this isn't a legend, but Seiju is a legend. Okay, just respond to this. But then they activate it in response. But if the Emrakul is here, dang it. Because I was thinking if they had to like Cauldron their Kethis, they might not be able to mill me. But because the Emrakul is here, they can mill me. I don't know, I'm gonna cast this Dismember and see if it stops them. Yeah, I don't think that it will. Pretty cool. Does this deck have any advantages over Breach? Well, you're a bit more resilient to Disenchants, but the big advantage is it'll probably be legal in 2 weeks. I'm not actually sure that they can Jace through this many times, but they probably can. Yeah, it looks actually pretty easy for them too. All right, let's finish up the league. Great match. Pretty cool. I'm gonna keep this one for sure. Yeah, how have you liked the grist? Opponent's on a mold of 6 here. Boy, I hope the lag is so bad this week I get to play Balatro. I don't know if this is revealed because of the lag. I think it's revealed. Baltro. I want to play Balatro. Took Phoenix, started 3-0 into 4-3-1. Tough. Did you have a good time? Basically, I want to play against Boros pretty badly with this deck. That's like the one matchup we haven't played yet. Oh, and Breach. Although I don't know if anybody's going to still be playing Breach. Dang, if we were on the play, we could have turned 2 Temporal Mastery. I guess I'll keep the Time Warp. Let's go back to Mono Green Maverick at some point. I kind of feel like the the Outcast Trailblazer Fanatic of Rhonas deck is sort of the evolution of that to some extent. I mean, I guess they're different enough. I might circle back, but the metagame has to be kind of right for that one. I'll say that we still need to like give that Trailblazer deck another go. So that's kind of one of the mini decks we have at the moment that are in reserve. All right, turn 2. I have a lot of permanents in play. Everyone's excited to play against Phoenix again. That's fun. Are they going to Ephemerate the Solitude? You would think that they would have... They have a March also. You would think that they... Okay. I'm okay with this. I can also, like, if they play like a Ketchermos next turn, I can go Time Warp, put Devour in my hand, and just cast the Devourer. Yeah, have you been, so if you've been playing it at Tommy, I'd love to hear if you had any like big updates for it too, of course. All right, let's hope they don't have a Bowmaster. Nice. They keep a card on top. Let's see, 4. So Eldrazi Temple, Labyrinth, 1, 2, 3. Looks like I'll be 1 short of Brainsurge plus Devourer next turn. My opponent bricks on the Overlord. Three. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the Devourer into my hand, but I want to draw 1 more card before I commit to Brainsurging, so I'm not quite as locked. And I can go Brainsurge plus Time Warp this turn. All right, not so locked anymore. What if I was supposed to upkeep K command looking for Temporal Mastery? It's not a line I've had to take yet. I think it's okay not to. Like, I don't hate drawing the Lrien Revealed. I can just cast this Temporal Mastery if I want. Seems okay too. Take your time, Magic Online. I barely want to play Bellatra. Yes, I think we just go for a K command again first. Although I probably want to leave 1 more blue mana available this time. So I could maybe go Tamiyo plus Jace. Could go... Guess we can't go Tamiyo then Nulldrifter and flip the Tamiyo. Yeah, let's just do this. Have I K commanded instep to Temporal Mastery? Yeah, we've set up a lot of Temporal Masteries with K command. It shouldn't have mattered too much. I want to keep. I think I'll just put these. I want the option to double Devour if I can. I might be a little short on mana, but. Also, if they attack the Jace, we could just let it connect, maybe. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we would need to find a land off of our Jace to double Devour or Nulldrifter Devour. We of course want to Tamiyo minus on the time warp, so if my opponent attacks Tamiyo, I'll block and sack. Oh, Emrakul on their turn? I don't think we've done that today. I don't think so. Pretty cool though. They do attack the Tamiyo. Gotta remember that the Emrakul is here also. If I was to play 4th Brainsurge, what would I cut? I wouldn't, so you gotta figure that out yourself. There's not a card I would cut the 4th Brainsurge for. This does look like they have the Bowmaster. Oh, great. I sacked the spawn token. Opponent decides to just F6, fair enough. Nice of them. BALTRO. I want to play Balatro. They said they're working on the lag. So it seems like I should just again be digging for a turn effect. It's better to K command before Brainstorm because you get to see 3 extra cards. Would you love Balatro if it had this much lag? It'd be pretty tough. But yes. Nothing can take away my love for that game. I think we just Emrakul next turn, right? At the very least, we have this time warp gives me an extra turn and another extra turn because of the whole Tamiyo situation. Sack a permanent. Probably the Overlord, right? Oh, they sack a Witch Enchanter? Alright, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I need to draw land off of Jace to cast the Emrakul. Okay. I also had an extra turn coming with the Tamiyo, so did seem like we were in pretty good shape. I've been bringing in these 3 cards. I've been going down 1 Talisman, 1 Jace, 1 Brainsurge. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna go use the restroom. Be right back. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. How are we feeling about this one? I think it's a keep for me. If I can find an Ugin's Lab off the Devourer, we can go turn 3 Jace, or sorry, turn 2 Jace, put Temporal Mastery on top. And, you know, turn 3 Jace, put Temporal Mastery on top. Not so bad against the really slow deck anyways. I'm going to say no to all of these. Just a bunch of nonsense. Would have been really cool to go for the turn 2 Jace. I don't think we've had a turn 2 Jace today. Okay, so drawing another Lrien Revealed, we'll go ahead and cycle 1 and to turn off the Talisman. Opponent, probably not a super keepable hand at this matchup. Bricks on the Overlord. We're not even like weak to Shadow Receptions. This deck could probably fit a Gemstone Cavern. Maybe. Don't really want to play that many more colorless sources in our Tamiyo deck. pretty good package of cards here. I think we're going to win this one. The Orzhov matchup has seemed quite good. Maybe surprisingly, maybe not so surprisingly. You cannot tap the Caverns for Colorless if it has the luck counter on it. Not the biggest deal. But you can. I'm under the impression that you can't, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to go ahead and Dismember. Probably might concede to this Dismember. Maybe they'll concede to the Tamiyo flip, but they'll probably concede to something soon, if I had to guess. This is like Evolve from Important Calamity deck. No, I started off just with the Turns package and a lot of non-Eldrazi shells, and then just realized that the Eldrazi shell was like certainly the best direction to go. I have a blue-black version with Psychic Frog that I still have a little bit more room to explore, but for the most part, this is probably just the direction. It's wild seeing 4 and 5 drops work in Modern. So yeah, I mean, this is like the upside of playing Talismans and Eye of Ugins is that the problem with turns is like your mana value is just very clunky. You can have some very awkward curves, but you don't really run into that problem so much with Eldrazi stuff. Upkeep K command for Miracle. I think it's just better to play the Temple, and we can K command for one more. Yeah, they just concede. Okay, so 5-0 into 2-3 into 3-2. That is 10 and 5 overall. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. I might play this in a challenge later this week, maybe with some changes, but I think it seemed great. I really, really enjoyed this deck, and I'd be happy to play it again. Did not get to our backup deck. I guess I'll show off the backup deck. This is probably what we'll start with tomorrow, but you never know. But in the interest